She takes my hand and asks me to take a walk with her outside my head. I say, I'm not so sure I want to go. It's dark out there and I'm terrified of the dark. She pulls my hand and asks me to take a walk with her outside my head. I say, I'm not so sure I want to go. I've never been anywhere but here and I don't know what's out there. She yanks on my hand and asks me to take a walk with her outside my head, and I say, I'm not so sure I want to go because I like it here. She looks at me and says, you're dumb. You're dumb. And with that, we engage in combat never seen before. She hits me with brute force, ill-intentioned punches, while I slip and parry in a serpentine fashion to evade her barrage of King Kong atomic bomb punches. She backs me into the brightest corner of my mind. And she steps backwards into shadows with her eyes glued to mine. She moves so slowly. I see the dark chase the light across her face, and off the tip of her nose we stand on opposite yin and yang planes. She floats a soft hand toward me, bathing it in a swath of white light to reach my comfort and steal it. I plummet. I fall, and suddenly I am small, and the world is iridescent blue raindrops, and she's so close. Her face is inches from mine. I see the sugar in her coffee brown eyes, and I want a sip. Her old black zip-up hoodie is drenched and clinging to her frame, and as her lips part, my lips start to dry despite the rain, because her lip stain sounds ringing in my ears. Does my heart sound loud to you? Because I swear I love the sound of you. She blinks. And I'm swimming in the small of her back. I drag fingertips down her thighs and whisper ice into her spine through the nape of her neck, but as the next few seconds collect the glow of yellow light bouncing off her chest, the tempo of our orchestra shifts and quickens, thickens, and sets a frenetic inflection on the collection of memories we just erected, because I've never done these things before, and my body flies in the direction of the reflection of our naked bodies and shatters my newfound desire for compliance and reflection. I float in a world of sound. I try to catch my breath as I veer near a black and white sonic precipice overlooking a fusion sea of color. I'm a rowboat with no oars, and she's the conductor of the most musical maelstrom. She dances on the horizon, swaying her hips to the beat of thunder under a neon-lit sky that I sink asunder. I try to keep my head above the burgundy waves, but I sink and I drink the notes of the water until I am no longer flotsam, but I got some siren song blossoms in my lungs. I breathe the water like amniotic hip-hop, pop, punk rock, and I spill and sputter and heave until I acquiesce and leave my doubts and fears at the surface of the sea. I sink. And I can see that she's no siren as she sinks with me. She's skipping to the sounds of synth beats, and synth sounds so sincere, no sanctimony here to see. She's a flower boy, sugar, honey, iced tea, bumblebee on the scene. She looks at me and says, follow me. And I follow willingly to the sea floor, where I see no more than a big black drain plug. She says, this might be a little scary. And she pulls the plug, draining us onto a hot, sunny sidewalk where we cook like over-easy eggs being prepped for Sunday morning breakfast sandwiches. Don't move them so much, the yolk will spill. And as we dry out, I look down the street at distorted, droopy, Dali clocks to see time advancing so slowly. We have all the time in the world. So naturally, I reach out and twist the hands and see the physical accumulation of time in real time. I look back at her and she is 97 years old. She stares at me with wrinkled skin and she stares at my wrinkled skin and receding hairline, and she says, I look like a leathery pug. I say, I didn't think you could get any shorter. She flashes me a toothy fluorescent grin and plants me with a geriatric kiss of spicy senescence, and for once, time is not of the essence. I forgot to be scared, because I've got a field of mistakes obstructing my sight, but with her, I might have just gotten it right, because the light in my eyes when she steps in sight ignites with embers of November that I'll always remember. I can try to fight to write all day and all night, but without that light, I just might not make it to midnight. I thought this world that she showed me was hers, but it's not, it's ours. It's a blended soup of our thoughts. It's like she's the meat and I'm the broth, and she's the faucet drawing lots of thoughts from out the pot that call my head. She takes my hand and asks me if I'd like to go back to the inside of my head. I say I'm not so sure I want to go back anymore. I like it here.